I'm Asti, and this is my June progress report.
This is Andy, and this is my June progress report.
I'm Jake, and this is my June progress report.
This is my June progress report.
Hi, I'm Louise Webster, and this is my progress report.
I'm calling in from New York, so for those of you who have seen my previous progress reports, I'm usually in front of a really nice camera. And this time I'm just calling in from my laptop. Just goes to show why we do what we do with the progress report and allow founders to dial in and record themselves from anywhere in the world, because you never know what that schedule is going to look like. Did I achieve what I set out to achieve last month? Yes, I would say I did. I'm pretty sure my whole goal was to start to meet people where they are, understand what they're doing, why they're doing what they're doing, and where they're doing it. And here I am in New York for New York Tech Week. And also launched my podcast, which is now live. So for those of you who haven't seen it, definitely feel free to subscribe, because my colleague Ben and I have been hard at work trying to make it perfect, even though we all know there's no such thing as perfection in the world of startups or projects.
We've had a very busy month. I was in New York with the team a couple weeks ago, and we had a whole series of events, and we were more so launching Invited. I know we had gone live in April, but this was kind of felt like a proper launch, because we were there meeting all the creators, meeting all the brands, and as I said, had a series of events to raise awareness for Invited. So I think, it's been an exciting month of growth and lots of opportunity.
So in June, my main focus is actually taking some time off. I'm about to welcome my second child into the world. We're 1 week overdue at the moment, so it's pretty certain that they'll arrive pretty soon. So I'm going to be taking pretty much the whole month off. So my focus is actually switching off and letting the team look after things, which should be great. I spent a lot of time prepping for that, a lot of time making sure everyone's ready, not necessarily in like day-to-day handovers, but building that team over the last couple of years. So really excited to actually not have a lot to report from June directly.
Essentially, we were looking to gain some more commercial traction, so through partnerships, etc. We ran a successful pilot with Barclays Bank, with employees of Barclays Bank, kind of running Remy as an employee perk. It ran successfully, and now we're discussing how we can scale this up, which is fantastic, and we can use this as a case study for other large organizations to ensure that we can try and partner with them and get Remy to become an employee perk for them as well. And in return, we can then supply them with really useful data on how much waste employees saved, the carbon associated with that, and how much money they saved. And these organizations can then use that within their CSR reports to talk about the good things their employees are doing.
One of our main missions was to start to connect and onboard potential corporates onto our new B2B offering. We have had new conversations, we've advanced existing conversations, but our mission for this month is to really expand on the prototype so we can start to onboard corporates and SMEs at this stage. One of our second missions was to continue on our seed fundraise journey, to continue discussions and exploring opportunities, which we did do last month, and we made progress with, and I'm looking forward to progressing even further this month with our seed fundraise.
I am trying to be more present on social media and get myself out there, and I'm sure a lot of you can relate, but there's something quite daunting and demotivating about having 6 followers on a social media account, which I technically do on TikTok right now. But I guess the whole lesson there is that everything starts from nothing at some point. And so even some of the, biggest projects and biggest people that you follow definitely had 6 followers at one point.
This month, I really want to actually hire people, because that is very much on my agenda. I'm growing a team in London and New York, so I need to actually crack down and start the whole interview process for hiring in different cities. And yeah, I mean, with that will come growth. So I think just really getting going now. But yeah, I do really want to hire people, or be at least in the process of getting people to join the team this month.
During May, we wrapped up our crowdfunding round. So we talked a little bit about this last time, but there's a lot of admin that follows a crowdfunding round. So spent a lot of time doing that, whether that's legals, finances, or just speaking to our existing investors. So that's been really the big achievement, to get everything lined up so that today we've got all the signatures in place to close our funding round, which is great.
So this month we are hoping to get our first paid customers, or paid users. So we're implementing a paywall, and we're going to start charging users who download the Remy app from this point onwards. We're going to start by charging them a very low fee, but this will prove to us and hopefully investors that people are willing to pay for Remy.
So our main focus this month is to advance our prototype. Really want to take it to the next level, where we can start to introduce it to VCs, and also to start potentially onboarding corporates and SMEs. The other thing I'd really like to achieve this month, and we've started discussions with some amazing brands around taking our offering offline. So we are really looking at creating a schedule for starting in September to create some amazing events where we can bring together women and mothers to really start to connect and grow both personally and professionally in offline environments. Also, I delivered our first webinar with a big corporate this month, and I absolutely loved it. It was all about how we can create potential opportunity if you're working part-time, and it can be a pathway to opportunity. Absolutely love that. Really keen to do more, and also to keep exploring and learning on our seed fundraise.
I would say the one thing I did learn is don't let the little things get you down, and not everything is going to be perfect from the start, and so just start. Sometimes that's going to mean that you have 0 followers or 0 traction, or nobody's going to believe in the vision that you have, but you do, and that's all that matters.
I guess I'm learning a lot, kind of similar things over the past few months, but I think learning to delegate and kind of, step back from things if they're not, things don't have to be looked at literally on the second or on the day, like just kind of prioritizing my schedule, because I feel like I get too wrapped up and then I get very stressed, and then I can't even think, my brain's just going in all different directions. I think, in terms of, I guess I'm learning how to prioritize things and delegate a bit better, and I think that will get easier as I grow my team, hopefully.
I think the valuable lesson I've learned this month, more of a personal one, is around taking on maybe a little bit too much. So this month we've closed a funding round, finished a house renovation at home, and have a baby coming very soon. So it's been an awful lot going on, and I'm always optimistic. I always think I can take it on and it'll be fine. It has been fine. But probably there was a little bit too much on, if I'm totally honest. And so I think probably the lesson is to be a little bit more realistic about how much is sensible for one person to take on, whether that's me or other people. And also to remember that even if it's the most important thing someone's working on, which for me is pretty much always fundraising, there might also be a lot of stuff going on in their personal life, which is important not to neglect.
Before I worked at Remy, I was in software sales. I was doing a lot of cold calling, and they always talk about a pattern interrupt. So when you're calling someone, they answer their phone, you want to say something different to kind of interrupt the normal patterns of a phone call and kind of tempt them into the conversation. I found that you can actually use a pattern interrupt into so many areas of life, to kind of get people to engage with your content, get people to engage with your emails. So just really making sure that the first point at which you engage people is really different, and you hook them in for those 2-3 seconds to ensure that they are engaged and with you for kind of the duration of what you have to say.
What is the one thing that I've learned this month? So I've learned a lot this month, and one of the key things that stands out is the fact that not to anticipate the outcome of a situation. So to go into things with a really open mind without an anticipation of what the result might be, because all too often it can be the things that you least expect that are the things that really are there to teach you or to connect you with opportunities. So that has been a real lesson, because also when you don't anticipate, there isn't also this element of disappointment if it doesn't go to the way that you are anticipating the outcome. So that has been an incredible learning for this month.
One thing that has inspired me this month is how much everybody has been telling me that, you know, the more they get feedback, the more that they see other people succeed, and the more that they're able to, you know, leverage a community of each other is helping them and realize their potential, is so empowering. It's inspiring, and it's kind of exactly why we're doing this project, is to be able to give people that extra push when they might not have enough energy themselves to do it, or when they need it the most. And also I just spent an evening with a lot of really ambitious and passionate founders myself, so it's going to be a long week of seeing that firsthand. And so on that note, I would just encourage you, if you can, to just get into a room of like-minded people and breathe in that ambition and really leverage that energy, because there's just simply nothing like it.
I think all the feedback from the influencers that we met them meeting them in person in New York, that was really, really great to see, because obviously it's something that they want. They're giving us feedback and learnings to grow the platform, both here and in New York actually. But I think that definitely is inspiring, because it's, you know, we're actually doing something that's meaningful to other people. It's not just we're just here kind of doing something for the sake of it. So I think that's always quite inspiring, I guess.
I think it's inspired me. There's a theme in this progress report. It's really my family. It's been great to have a slightly flexible deadline to be working towards. It's given a lot of focus, and it's meant that today everything is lined up for the funding round to close whilst I'm on leave, which is perfect.
So like you said, we got a letter back from the king, or the royal correspondent to the king, basically saying that the king has seen what Remy's doing, he really likes it, keep up the good work, get in touch with these people at a variety of different food waste charities. That's started conversations, which is great. I've been in conversation with the CEO of the Felix project, which is fantastic. But that actually wasn't what was going to be what I was going to say. We've been speaking to loads of users recently, and we've just been getting really good feedback, and we come off these user calls and we're getting kind of glowing reviews, and people telling us that, you know, they downloaded 3 types of this app in one day to see which was the best, and Remy kind of blew everyone out of the water. And what's great is that we're really understanding where the value that we bring is. So it's really helpful for us, but also it's a real kind of driver and motivator to continue working hard.
One thing that stood out, I contacted Number 10 Downing Street, and they got back to me with a letter wishing us well with Beyond the School Run. That was really inspiring, and has really kind of kept me kind of focused and moving forward. And what also led off that was the comments from our community, both on LinkedIn and on our socials, really encouraging, with really encouraging words. And when you don't necessarily know the progress of your work day to day, find that really inspiring. That kind of fills you up and really helps you continue on your path.